Good evening, everyone. Thank you again so much for tuning in. This is the Real Deal Fam Network, and I am Andre, and this is my beautiful wife, Essie.
Boo, 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 boo.
Every time.
The boss.
Thank you all again so much. We do appreciate all the support, and if you haven't had an opportunity yet to hit that subscribe button, if you can, please take 1 second out your time and do it now. Subscribe. Also hit that notification bell as well as the thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Well, tonight's topic is very interesting. We would like to talk about the pending possibility of a recession.
Pending. We already in a recession, if you didn't know.
I was trying to be nice.
It takes a whole year before they let you know you're in a recession. Yeah, we knew we was already in a recession.
Yeah, the economy has been very sluggish. The market recently has taken a dip for the worse.
Tanked.
For a lot of people, they're not in the market anyway, but it is a great tool or identifier to know how the economy is doing. Recently, it hasn't been so good about doing that because it's kind of been propped up. They haven't really given you a real true indication of how the economy is doing.
Yeah, they've been saying jobs been doing great, but it's not so great if you got to work 2 and 3 jobs, to make ends meet, the same as you would if it was one job. So
yeah, I guess
jobs out there.
I guess it's like the old lady used to say, a piece of man better than nothing.
Oh my gosh, I know. Piece of man.
So I guess a piece of job better than nothing. That's how they looking at it, I guess, in the White House. But like my wife say, the quality of job, the income, as well as the benefits have depreciated quite a bit. So they're counting, I guess, people who work, I don't even think they work full-time. If you're working part-time, or people who actually fell out of looking for a job is not included anymore in the unemployment.
Yeah, that a lot of jobs cut back the full-time capacities because of the health care bill. And so they say that they only have so many, employees of full-time before they have to pay, extra amount. So nobody's hiring a lot of full-time people. It's not like it was before.
It's not. And this is a very tentative situation because this is the year that we have in a presidential election. And they always say the older people are always guaranteed to come out and vote. And if there's a recession like the one they're speaking about is pending or looming, pensions could be affected. And if pensions are affected, the elderly, the people who've worked a long time, who depend on that, is going to really feel the pinch if the market drops even further than it has been.
Yeah, they said this one's supposed to be worse than 2008.
2003.
Oh, 2003. 2008. Yeah, it's supposed to be similar to like the Great Depression in the 20s. So, if not worse, it's just supposed to change the economy system totally. So,
yeah, under the current system, following, like my wife said, in 2008, that's when they termed the Great Recession happened. And at that time, Obama them took some measures to try to get the economy back going. And they said they stimulated it by using, I guess, printed money. And it was supposed to be just for that time till the economy got back going, but they still been using it all the way up to this point.
Notice how when the Democrats had, they gave the stimulus monies to the people, and then the people went out and spent it up. But this time, the Republican gave the stimulus money to the businesses. It's talking about trickle down, I guess.
Well, via tax cuts. As you well aware.
Oh, via tax cuts? I thought they gave them a stimulus package.
What's the name? Trump gave him that was a stimulus because he cut the corporate tax rate, and that helped them out tremendously. Now, the theory behind that and the concept was behind that they would reinvest in jobs. And instead, they took that money that they were saving and bought their own stock in the companies.
Oh, to buy it back so they have control. Yeah. And now look what happened. Ran the companies into the ground.
Yeah, so when
outsourcing.
And when they did that, they drove the stock up and had the market going through the roof. Because as you recall, when Trump got in there, the stock market went to all-time highs. I think over 30,000, somewhere in there. But it exploded.
Yeah, he repealed all those regulations. Well, when you repeal a whole bunch of regulations that's put in place for a specific reason, you get buck wild kids, just like your kids at home. And then, then you got to come home to a messed up house. And that's basically what's going on.
Yep, and we common folk. Common folk, the math is simple. We don't get it overcomplicated. Now, they try to get it complicated when they talking to you in terms of politicians or the Wall Street types. But they took the money, like I said, and reinvested it back into purchasing their own stocks. But a company is not successful unless it's generating revenue. Just by you purchasing your own stocks is not really profits. And so
that was a fake move.
Right. And so that made the market go up, but it was an illusion. It wasn't really due to the companies making money, getting a lot of production out of the employees, and then the company's growing due to revenue. That was a fake move. It didn't work. So the economy has been hurting ever since. And so he was like, they putting out reports like everything is great, the jobs are up. But you as an individual, you can look at your own situation and say it's not going that great.
Yeah, for the most people, you making ends meet. You wasn't doubling down on, making things turn over that quickly, the average person, so.
Right. Just have a look at your neighbors or family members and see how they doing it. If you don't see the same vibrance that was there before, then the economy is not doing good. Do you see people traveling a lot, moving around a lot, theme parks busy, concerts?
Yeah, Christmas time, all kind of Thanksgiving. It wasn't, you had to put yourself on a budget.
Right. So things are a little tight. Mm-hmm. So if the recession takes place, there's going to be job loss, of course. And when there's job loss, there's healthcare loss. And that's a whole nother issue there, especially with
now. During the coronavirus time?
Exactly. So you got, it's going to be tough.
Did you see that the execs last year sold all of their stock that they purchased, and sold it all last year as a bail? They bailed themselves out and dipped. Well,
they say that a few of the Fortune 500 companies, CEOs resigned and got out. I guess they kind of read the tea leaves and knew that the recession was imminent and it was time to go. And so some of them probably got out of there before it got bad.
Yeah, the CEOs, when they put most of the money or income they have back into their stocks and bonds in their company, it's like an insurance, like they feel comfortable, like everything is going good. So if the CEO abruptly resigns, takes all their money and cashes out of their company, you have to be like,
yeah.
I need to probably be thinking about what I'm gonna do. And then who bought all the funds? They said who bought all the funds that they dumped.
Well, all of the stock that's out there now is the pension funds purchase all the bad stuff out there. Because, like I say, the pensions, they have to, based on what I've heard and read, they need to get back a return of at least 7% on their investment in order to remain viable. If they don't get that 7%, they can't remain solvent, and the pension will collapse. They'll become irrelevant. They don't have enough money to meet their obligations.
All the people that's on retirement pension. Same thing as last time, where your entire savings or your entire pension is wiped out, and you got 80 and 90-year-olds trying to get back to work. And you seen them out there in Walmart like greeters, and at the hospital being greeters and saying hello to you. You be like, dang, why grandma out here? She died. 80 and 90 years old still trying to say hello to you.
And the main issue has been building behind the scenes is that there's a lot of debt. There's a lot of consumer debt. That means individuals at home. There's a lot of government debt, and there's a lot of corporate debt. Mm-hmm. And when the market is collapsing like it is, the smart guys done pulled all the money out. And now they're just leaving it to fall apart. And
leaving it for people like you and I and to take the fall, just like last time, and we haven't even fully recovered from that.
Yeah, so if you're depending on anything, any kind of government assistance, the best you can do is pray at this moment, because the things are very tentative. It can go either way, but it's looking like it's definitely due for a crash.
Yeah, so your best thing to do would be to get with your family and guys come up with a plan about how, if things do go the way that they did last time, how can you guys work together, to make things work out.
Yeah, the best thing you can do. We're not financial advisors. We're not trying to tell you how to handle your investments and then like that. But a good quality.
We're just reading the tea leaves.
That's it. A good quality investment is always invest in yourself and invest in your family. Just make sure you can get as much information you can in terms of being able to survive, how to come out of these type deals, and also become more skilled at different things, so you be more than one trick pony. So whatever your job is now, try to branch out a little bit. Try to learn some things you hadn't learned before.
A skill, a trade, go and plant you a garden. Any little thing you can do to help to provide. It's gonna get back like how it used to get. Like the old time ways where you gave, some kind of thing for a thing, not money.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference between the Great Depression and now. If something like that was to happen, is back then the people were already more self-sufficient. They already was more farm type living. They grew food. They had things like that still. Now everybody's more dependent.
Knowledge of it, because a lot of them lost their properties and lands and stuff.
Right, but a lot of people today don't even know how to fish. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to grow crops. They don't know nothing. It is completely dependent on the food source provided by others.
The grocery store. And that grocery store ran out of stuff. So if you didn't get it, you praying on the next truck to come through.
Yeah, so like we say, if you depend on Walmart and the meat store, you're gonna be in for a world of hurt if something take place.
Oh my goodness, we were just talking about that. How the old folks had to know how to catch the stuff and kill it and clean it and different stuff. If you haven't seen that, go watch that video, because man.
Yeah, definitely. But also, when you want to make sure you invest in yourself by taking care of yourself, make sure you're at the best physical health you could be in. There's nothing worse than to be sickly in a time where there's a recession or a depression.
Yeah.
But we just want to come to you to give you a little bit of insight on what the possibilities are, and hopefully you can go ahead and get your motor going and be more aware. And
think outside the box and
right.
Get with your family and talk it over, see what your plan is. What's that emergency plan they tell you if anything goes on? Let your family know if y'all get separated where you're going to meet up at. Because the communication system, too, could go down. If anything happened to all the infrastructure, like our last video we told you about, the infrastructure, if anything happens, cell phone, text messages, all that kind of stuff, like what happened, how you going to meet up with your family, come up with plans and stuff about how you going to go about doing stuff.
That's it. Just don't be so dependent on the system. Try to break away a little bit. Try to be normal. The man always was able to do different things in the world. We didn't have iPads and all that kind of stuff back then.
That's nice.
Yeah, just appreciate that stuff, but don't depend on it.
Right.
That's all. And we thank y'all again so much for tuning in, and we really appreciate you.
Make sure you pray it up. Pray it up.
That's it. You want to make sure you got that. You got prayer and you got the good Lord in your life. It's going to be tough for you. So, especially during tough times.
These crazy times.
That's right. Don't believe the hype. He real. Thank y'all again so much for tuning in. We really appreciate all the support. And if you hadn't had the opportunity, hit that subscribe button, because the videos are good. They're coming in all the time. Definitely. We really appreciate it. If y'all have any comments, please leave them below. Anything you can give us insight to help edify us as well as some of our listeners, we would really appreciate it. Thank y'all again so much. Good night.
Good night.